Hi there. Today I'm going to tell you a bit about our Top Achievers programme, our TAP programme, which we mainly aim at Year 12 and 13, who are in sixth form, but we've recently started expanding right down to Year 9 because we believe that the earlier we can start working with our gifted and talented pupils, the better outcomes and the more likely they are to fulfil their potential when they go off to university. So why have a Top Achievers programme? Well, there have been two quite interesting reports in recent years about social mobility. The first one was by the London School of Economics in 2019, and then more recently the government has set up the Social Mobility Commission, and that really is because of concerns that they have about the lack of social mobility in the UK. So the findings I've just summarised on this slide. The first finding was that there is a class ceiling, surprise, surprise, for people from lower status occupational origins. Also, children who have parents in medicine and law are 21 and 18 times more likely to succeed in these fields than children who haven't. More than half of solicitors, barristers, judges, vets, doctors, chartered surveyors, CEOs and stockbrokers come from backgrounds where the main parental earner was in higher managerial or professional employment. When privilege is misread as merit, the resulting inequalities are legitimised. So those who are fortunate believe they've earned it on their own, and the less fortunate blame themselves. The UK has an economic system that all too often allocates profoundly unequal rewards based on the accident of social origin. Children from black and minority ethnic groups are more likely to be in poverty, 45% compared to 26% of children in white British families. Half of adults from the poorest backgrounds receive no training at all after leaving school. So that's quite interesting in terms of working with some of the students in our school. So just briefly, the aim of our Top Achievers programme. For every top achieving scholar to successfully apply to their best fit university, including Oxbridge, Russell Group, Medical, Dental and Vet School, we provide a bespoke programme to support and challenge students and really inspire them to be the best they can academically and in their chosen path. And our TAP programme is aimed at students who already have achieved or are expected to receive mostly 9 to 7 grades at GCSE. So we're really working with our most able students in the school, our gifted and talented students. So for the gardeners out there, I like to think of the TAP programme a bit like gardening. If you plant a seed, it grows on its own and it will be fine. But if you plant a seed and you really nurture it, you feed it properly, you water it well, you give it the right amount of sunshine and all its needs, you will get a much stronger plant that will be much more resilient and actually fulfill its potential. So our Top Achievers programme really does this gradually throughout the schooling of the student. First of all, we raise aspirations, really important. Then we boost confidence and provide cultural capital. We push a breadth of study. We support students and mentor them for interviews and admissions tests. And if we get all of that right, hopefully we enable social mobility. So one of the first things that we do, because we believe that this really works well in our experience so far, is we peer mentor. So our older students who maybe are going through or have been through the really rigorous process of going to those top universities, Oxbridge universities and medical school, will talk to younger students who think they're interested and are starting off on their journey, and they get a chance to really ask questions. And then also the students who've already been through this, help them with their personal statements and mock interviews. And that kind of peer mentoring is working very, very well at the moment in our sixth form particularly. Cultural capital, there's a quote here: cultural competence is hard to simply acquire, and instead it's inextricably linked to dispositions inherited by children from more privileged backgrounds. So what we do find is that sometimes the cultural capital is missing in some of our students. They're not used to being in certain environments. We had a student a few years ago who was a top achieving student and went to an interview at Oxbridge and was completely kind of overwhelmed and freaked out by being in that environment, in the kind of, you know, big dark halls and sitting in the sort of, you know, dark furniture. And so what we do is we try and take the top achieving students to as many of those kind of environments as possible. We take them out on university trips. We take them to the theatre, we take them to art galleries. We try and get them confident about being in different environments, because we feel that that will not only help them with the application process, but it will definitely boost their confidence. We have established many really strong university partnerships. I'm very proud of these, actually. Last year we secured a partnership with Newcastle University, who offer our students contextual offers. So if students want to study medicine there, for instance, they may get an offer of ABB as opposed to A-star AA. We also are working closely with the University of Bath on their Pathway to Bath programme, which is where students have academic tuition and residential courses at the University of Bath, which is a really fantastic programme. Similar one with the University of Nottingham, Ambition 16 to 18 programme, which is a 2-year mentoring programme. And we also work all the time with Mansfield College in Oxford, Lucy Cavendish College in Cambridge, and Gonville and Keys in Cambridge. And the other thing we do is we have students that we send to UCL for lectures and webinars. So these are really, really valuable experiences for our students, because they are learning outside the curriculum, which is what is so important for these most able, our TAP students. Again, breadth of study, we are recently set up a partnership with Wickham Abbey School, which is a girls' public school, boarding school, and they come in to see us and they work with our TAP students on breadth of study. So this picture here is them, some of our medical students working with them, and really learning things that aren't on the curriculum. Similarly, Gresham College also provides us with all sorts of very, very interesting talks and workshops for our students. Again, beyond the curriculum, we work with the British Medical Association, we work with societies, we have placements through the borough in local hospitals for our medical students, and recently quite a few of our students actually are working with Arts Emergency, which is a 2-year mentoring scheme with professionals in industry. And the pictures here, you can see some of our Year 12s actually doing a dissection workshop there. I want to be medics, and the picture below is Arts Emergency, some of our students getting involved with that. We also at the Poly have the Access Project, who are a charity, and they are with us 2 days a week, and they are a fantastic organisation who provide one-to-one tuition with a professional in industry, and they also provide in-school mentoring. So we have 40 students from year 10, 11, 12 and 13, 10 from each year, who work with, this is Eleanor Myers from the Access Project, who's in school, but they also go out to weekly tuition for an hour in their chosen subject with a professional in industry. So that is a really wonderful opportunity for some of our students. We know that the process of application is extremely stressful, so we provide an enormous breadth of support. We do personal statement workshops, we provide UCAT and other test prep. So when you apply to Oxford or Cambridge, you have to do a MAT test, and we provide bespoke one-to-one tuition for that. And the same with the MMI, the mini medical interviews, and the BMAT, and a lot of mentoring throughout the sixth form. And those are some of the organisations that we work with. We actually have a lot of ex-students who have set up an organisation in King's College that works specifically with our medical students every year, and they're amazing. The picture there is Dr. Darren Balogan, who provides a bespoke one-to-one service with our TAP students. So really there is an awful lot there to support them. And so where do they go, our students? Well, I thought I'd show you some pictures of our latest batch. This is Shafi, who has just started in medicine, doing medicine at Trinity College, Cambridge, and sent me that lovely photo of him. And this is Junshen, who this year started at Homerton College, Cambridge, doing natural sciences. And then we have Zach, who is doing medicine at Gonville and Keys in Cambridge. So we had 3 Cambridge University successes this year. But of course, there are other students like Kiran, who is doing English at Warwick, very competitive course, and very talented Kiran, and she's loving it there. We've got Naomi, who's doing dentistry at King's, that's where she got in. And then last but not least, we've got Jo, who is doing medicine at the University of Southampton, and you can see he's there in his scrubs doing some work experience. So those are just some of the successes from our Top Achievers programme. There are many, many more. I could show you lots of slides of other students who have done equally well. But please do contact me if you would like to know anything else. Thanks.